stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. That's right. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. Yeah.
I ain't no ordinary man. I'm something that you might never see again. I never was the tallest, never was the strongest. I just held the record for being real the longest. Niggas know they feeling what I spill at my performance. Shitting on these haters, yellow belly like it's jaundice. You know I be on it, know I keep my bomb lit. Ready just to drop it on you fuckers on some calm shit. Don't doubt the ability, get down in the field with me. Watch how I be flipping on rappers, check the agility, how real it be. I was always taught it's either kill or be killed. When you die, leave your will like Uncle Phil, nigga, chill. I done popped up out the Matrix, I ain't had to pop no pill. Raised up in them Philly streets, where them gangsters pop that still. I've been down with UPK, whether broke or at a mill. All I care for is my team, I don't care about no dick. Cause I ain't choose this life, it chose me. That ain't a secret, made an oath to give my soul peace. And I'm gonna keep it, climb the mountain, set my goals steep. And I'm gonna reach it, so I'm up all night with no sleep. Nightmares of demons, saw my first fiend OD. That shallow breathing kinda fucked me up low key. But I don't speak it till I die. I promise not a tear fall from my eye. Go to war, this my battle cry. Tell them why.
I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. That's right. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. Yeah.
I'm so ahead of my time, but the flow is ancient. Tell them show some respect, watch what you put my name in. We are nothing to be fucked with, them boys is dangerous. Make it hard for your team like them boys is tanking. Arm extended with the pound like you left me hanging. And beef got well done, nigga, we filleted it. Cause I held ground like I copped some acres. And they don't really want no smokers like they puffin' vapors. When I take ground, we 6 deep in your space. Ready to wreck on what? You take ground, it's a ditch. With 6 niggas picking your casket up. Don't pass this up. They say they built different, but these niggas bounty tough. When it's beef, I rode around with the pound untucked. Coming for the crown, get rid of the bullshit. That's a rule you flush. No matter how many people or weapons, you can't war with us. I done held ground for so long, it ain't no rooting up. Long as my niggas know I'm nice, you ain't got a root for us.
I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound in this beat. I done made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man. I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. Yeah. I was made to withstand any weapon form. They know a nigga sick, but it ain't no antiseptic form. Nigga, I'm dependable. Move like I'm in Desert Storm. Politic with generals, so I know how to move when the pressure on. Only the worthy will receive mercy. Real soldiers cry loud like a nurse. Son of the power, UPK birth. Revenge in my bag, nigga, it's an anniversary. They tell us heaven limited, but hell is plentiful. I'm ready to hunt these devils down like the Sentinels. Put them all in chains by the millions. Difference between you and me, I'm a soldier, you a civilian. UPK, we took the lead. The pressure. But I do not attack, I just match aggression. This soldier life for me, wouldn't trade it for another. The Lord and my brothers, the only thing about my bread and butter. I bring that bass like a subwoofer, leave them shook. They say life's a bitch, I say you should've never took her. The leaders hookers, me and Ty Wolf riding around with the pound, ready to put the beef in the pressure. I stood 10 toes down in these streets, whole ground in these streets. Roll around the city with the pound with this beef. I'd have made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man, I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. I stood 10 toes down in the streets, whole ground in the streets. Roll around the city with the pound with his beef. I'd have made this my last stand, but I am not an ordinary man, I'm a motherfucking soldier. The last stand of a soldier. Yeah.
Zapier is woven into every part of my business, and I can't live without it. I'm Jay, the COO of Wake Up Wealthy, a premier online coaching community. I use Zapier to connect all the apps we use so we can create a cohesive customer journey. Zapier ties together our paid advertising and our organic outreach. It automates our workload in the background and moves our prospects effortlessly through the sales process so that our sales team can focus on serving clients and closing more deals. So here's how it works. When a prospect enters their email onto our ClickFunnels landing page, zero bounce, then...
What up, though, Detroit? You trying to ride, I'm trying to slide, letting them know how you feeling inside. They took our fathers and they left our mothers to cry. Now somebody gotta die, no matter the pain. They always saw something to gain. Tears flowing in the rain, crabs in the bucket. I wanna just chuck it like niggas be free in this world but don't love it. Just fuck it insane. Angels is calling my name. What they saying ain't the same. Giving me orders like you must be ready to die. The only way you seeing change. And if you complain, well, when you complain, remember this is for the pain, the life, the death, the rise, the fall. This is the finale and we want it all, no matter the time. Bitches is mine, no really is his, but he using my 9. There's no mistake when you dealing with fate. Life is a bitch and she fixing my plate. Now asking for seconds, that's all I can take. Now 2 seconds later, she baking the cake. Don't want no more problems, I need to skate. She offer again, I'm like, bitch, I just ate. They want us to live without counting the weight, but often no help when we starting to shake. They want us to stop while I'm fresh out of break, so I'm hitting the gas on these turns that I make. Present us with problems, how do we solve them? I'm subtracting the niggas that caused them. No need to worry, not here for no glory. Just thought I'd shed light on this page on my story. The finale. 313, I love y'all. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming out. Yeah. Thank you.
Beats.
See, when I say top three.
We still here, still standing. UPK, we never left the building. Commander General Yohana, you know, whoa. Check it out. Rolling to America. Seize everything and bring these crackers to their knees. I need everything and I do mean everything. I know they don't like us. Go ahead and try us. Don't make me call upon the Lord and put this earth on fire. I'm only getting better and I'm only getting higher. And you are getting weaker. That's why you cannot beat us. I know you do not like us. We don't like you neither. You went against the grain. You should be ashamed. You went against a king. Let's just call it treason. Can't wait for killing season. All that shit that you be preaching. Let me see if you believe it. They say they can't be touched. Well, I'm about to put my hands on them. No more missing nice guy. I gave that spirit up.
Lord, give me strength so I can tear this city up. Babylon is falling, but it's just not fast enough. Angels with a nigga, so you niggas cannot touch. Ooh,
This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah. Said I pray they understand. I said I pray they understand. This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray they understand. Hey, I said I pray they understand.
They want me to bite my tongue, they don't like criticism. Can't sell oppressors the devil, YouTube restricted niggas. But they can post bitches twerking, police killing niggas. You can rap about catching bodies, and millions listen. Bitches rap about they box, and children listen. You say you black and gay, to them you still a nigga. You chasing Susie and Becky, they Emmett Tiller niggas. You got the ones that compromise, and you got field niggas. It's a real difference, it make me feel different. When I kick on my boots, tie up a meat tree, I know what we teaching that camp, nobody teaching. These devils telling lies without blinking. They ain't got the integrity, try to reach them. They say they conscious and they woke, but they sleepy. I ain't sparing nobody, I'm going in. It's a rap when I hop up on that podium.
This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah. Said I pray they understand. I said I pray they understand. This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray they understand. Hey, I said I pray they understand.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They tear their head off, nigga.
I pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, and I ain't listening, is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jackie. Time war, we gon' run the summer, it's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear. This shit life. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raise up the chains. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. Bitch about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
son comes. Hey, Shalom, Israel. We are the ISUPK, started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hunter. And our mission is to raise up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, teach them who they are according to the scriptures, show them how to follow the Most High, and separate from this wicked place called Babylon. Right. And we also teach that the oppressor is the goddamn devil of our people. Today's class is the truth about abortions. You understand? It's been all in the media. If you don't know what's going on, you need to get the hell off of social media just looking at slut videos and whatever else wickedness you're following, and start to pay attention to what's really going on, man. You understand? There is a war outside. You get what I'm saying? Right. It is a war out there. You put one gas scoot in just a little bit so you can get you on camera, so that people can see you. They don't like the water. Correct. It is a war out there, man. And we caught in the middle of it because we want to be a part of this wicked place called America. We want to be a part of this place so bad that we don't even understand what's going on, but we just in the middle of it, man. You know what we look like? We look like a bunch of freaking idiots every time. Every time. The stuff that's going on is put in place to destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But for some odd reason, we want to be in the middle of it like it's here to help us. Man. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like it's here to help us. Man. If we could, let's get Psalms 55 and 21. Psalms 55 and 21. I'm going to say I get my time. But we got to understand that the stuff that's going on with this Roe versus Wade, man, all day, every day, man, this stuff is an act of war. Right. Point blank, period. You got that scripture? Let's get it.
So the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21.
Okay.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Listen, man, the words coming out of these people's mouth talking about abortions and why they should get abortions. This getting real slick at this point. You get what I'm saying? It's about pro-choice. It's about, doing what's right for the baby. It's, trying to get my life together. Yeah, listen, this sounds good. Keep going.
It's like if I could just add on to that real quick, because I was watching what was that called, like a Lifetime documentary on like Roe v. Wade and the abortion clinics. Like through watching that documentary, you really get to see how soft-spoken and persuasive it is that our oppressor gets when it comes to our sisters, murdering our babies. Like, they made sisters feel absolutely, just comforted, made them feel like they were genuinely doing the right thing for themselves as well as for the baby. You understand? And of course we'll get into it later in this scripture right here. But our sisters, they don't realize why it is that our oppressor is using such smooth words with them. Why he's being so soft-spoken and kind and comforting when he's speaking to you about murdering your baby.
That work. Well, that's a heavy point because that's exactly what you're doing. They're being nice and sweet and soft-spoken while the whole time setting you up to murder your goddamn child, man. The oppressor is and always has been the devil. And like the scripture said, if you finish that, read that last part again.
Oh, God. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
It's smoother than butter. Like one guy brought out, they make you feel like you're making the right decision when you are destroying your child. You understand? You are destroying your child, literally. This ain't metaphorically. This is literally, you're killing her. That's destroying. Have you ever seen the pictures after these abortions? How they have the babies literally ripped apart?
Right.
And then you thinking they're getting rid of the babies. But where do you think all that stem cell research comes from? It comes from the abortions that black women have. You get what I'm saying? They can't use the DNA of the oppressor because all the medicine that they're getting from that stem cell research is going to the oppressor. If it was in their DNA to make it happen, they wouldn't need you, black woman. black man, they would need your seed. They would need your offspring, man. This place is a wicked place, and this is a place of murder, man. Right. And the truth behind this Roe versus Wade is way beyond something that you don't even understand. You got that clip that I sent? It should be in the messenger. I want you to share it with the video. People on Fort Wayne page, Slovakia, stuff is acting up, so I'm gonna share it to the page later, so you can bear witness to it as well. After we play the video, I'll go ahead and break it down for you. But you should be able to hear it. Now, this is President Trump. This is where it all started with. Of course, the Roe versus Wade and getting everything overturned. It all started with Trump when he was in the White House. A lot of people don't understand this, man. Like Trump, at least one thing we know about President Trump, what is he for? He is for white supremacy. That's what he wants. He wants white supremacy. He lets you know how he felt about his people and how he felt about everybody else. You got it?
It's not it.
It should be in the third minute.
Not just the Aaron.
No, I sent it to the other one. I can send it to the other one.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it right now. Boom. Just sent it. No sweat of water to you. Like, we gonna get this video, man. This is a very important video that y'all need to pay attention to and listen to what Trump is saying. And we always miss it. We always miss the important things because we so focused on the bull crap, man. If it ain't a twerking video, we ain't paying no attention. If it ain't a half-naked woman bouncing her butt somewhere or somebody doing something that's destroying themselves, we don't pay attention to it. Everybody and their mama paid attention to that dumbass crate challenge where people would stack the crates up 20 feet high and walk up the crates one side and walk down the other, watching them bust their butts. We was all in tune to that. But when it comes to things that matter about saving your goddamn life, you don't pay no attention. You are totally oblivious to it. It goes in one ear and out the other. You do not pay attention to it because why would you? It's about life. It's about death. It's about things that you don't care about. Let me tell you something. You don't care. You don't care. When you start to see us continue to be destroyed in this place, we don't have a choice but to care, man. Let me know when you got that, man. We're going to rock that out. You got it?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and play it, man.
Let me turn the volume up real quick.
No sweat. And hopefully y'all can be able to hear this as well on the Fort Wayne page. Like I said, I'm going to share the video to the page after class to make sure that y'all see it. I'll make another video on it because it's very important that we need to play it. I got some more videos, but I'm just going to play this one. I'm going to do breakdowns on the other ones later on in the week. Close out the week with them, man, because we are missing the important key thing. I'm ready when you are, okay?
What should the law be on abortion?
Well, I have been pro-life.
I know, what should the law, I know your principle, that's a good value, but what should be the law?
This presidential election is going to be very important because when you say what's the law, nobody knows what the law is going to be. It depends on who gets elected because somebody's going to appoint conservative judges and someone's going to appoint liberal judges depending on who wins.
Now, a lot of people think Trump is the idiot, which he is.
Right.
But here's the thing: you don't have to be smart to do what's right for your nation. You just have to love your nation. And Trump, he's not very smart, but one thing he is he's loyal to his people. He's loyal to the white race. He will not do anything to betray the white race. They asked him, what's the law? He said, nobody knows what the law is. And somebody who's running to be president to change the law, you don't even know what it is. But he knows that the law has something to do with killing babies, and he has to change that. Let's get some more.
I've never understood the pro-life position.
Well,
I never understood because I understand principle. It's
understand.
human life as people see it. Well, what crime is it?
Well, it's human life.
No, should the woman be punished for having an abortion?
Look, I would say that it's a very serious problem, and it's a problem that we have to decide on. It's very.
And you're forbidding it.
He said it's a very serious problem. Who is it a serious problem for? Let's be honest. It's a very serious problem for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
But why do you think Trump is saying that it's a serious problem because we know that he doesn't care about blacks, Hispanics, or Native Indians. You heard what he said about the Mexicans, right? He said all of them are rapists. If that's the case, why wouldn't he want them to get abortion? Because it was rape babies, right? So if he's speaking on this, if an oppressor is speaking on something that is detrimental, who is it detrimental to? His people. He don't give a damn about black women, Hispanic women, Native Indian women getting abortions. He only care about white women getting abortions.
Right.
Let's get some more.
Say, well, wait, are you going to say put them in jail? Is that
Well, no, what I'm asking you, because you say you want to ban it. What's that mean?
I am pro-life, yes.
What is ban? How do you ban abortion? How do you actually do it?
Well, you'll go back to a position like they had where people will perhaps go to illegal places.
Yeah.
But you have to ban it.
Do you believe
you
do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't
what?
know. That I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
You take positions and everything else.
Frankly, I do take positions and everything else. It's a very complicated position.
He is serious. He is serious. He said, I don't know, but I know I will not be allowing these white women to get abortions. I am not going to allow them to get abortions. This whole bill, this Roe versus Wade being overturned, this was something that Trump put into effect when he became president, and it's just now, taking off. You get what I'm saying? It's just now coming through. But this is something that he put into effect, and it has turned the world upside down on this end. But a lot of people don't understand. You have to be in the truth to understand why it's such a big deal. Let's get some more.
You're running for president. I'm not. I'm asking you, what should a woman face if she chooses to have an abortion? Why not? You said you're pro-life.
I am pro-life.
That means banning abortion.
And so is the Catholic Church pro-life.
All right, pause it right there. That's it on that video. It's another one I want to play later, but that's if we get to it. Now, he was talking about pro-life, right? Now, the abortion ban and all that stuff, which brings up a multitude of questions, right? Because when a woman is impregnated, right, when does that life start to take form? When is the baby technically alive? Is it alive the second the sperm hits the egg? Is it week 1? Is it week 2? Is it the heartbeat? Is it once the body starts to develop? Is it once the brain starts to develop? You get what I'm saying? There's so many different multitudes that the oppressor goes into. Trump banned it all. He said, you're not getting no abortion. If you're pregnant, you're going to have that baby. You think he was talking to black women when he said that? Do you think he was talking to Hispanic women when he said that? Do you think he was talking to Native Indian women when he said that? This ban right here is to preserve the white race. That's why this ban is on. Is to preserve the white race. They've already been talking about how blacks and Hispanics are multiplying at a number that pretty soon America will be overrun. I think he said about 2025 that I forget what state it was, but it was going to be majority Mexicans. We know that this is true. We've all heard the numbers. We've all seen the statistics. We all know that's why they send out a census report every 3 to 6 months when it used to be every couple of years type stuff. You get what I'm saying? The reason they're doing these things is because they're trying to track down and see exactly how much Israel is out there. Right. And when I say Israel, I mean blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because abortions is nothing new. Let's get Exodus 1:15. If you got something to bring up, first bring it up, please. Okay. But abortions is nothing new. We have been under the threat of abortion since day one. You understand? Let me get there with you. Because we got to bring it up, man. And I want you to understand, like I said, this is nothing new. This is nothing new for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, I want you to pick up at verse 9.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, in verse 9.
Go ahead.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Read that again.
The people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Keep going.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Let me tell you something. You can think Trump is an idiot, in which most cases he is. But I can tell you what he said. He said the same thing that this Hamite king said. He said the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Let us deal wisely with them. And what is the wisest thing that he could do to help his people? Because once more, when you think about Planned Parenthood, right? When you think about these abortion clinics, where are all the abortion clinics located at? They're all in Black and in Hispanic neighborhoods. You will not catch an abortion clinic in a white neighborhood. You will not catch an abortion clinic in Chinatown.
Right.
You're not. You're not going to catch it in where the majority of the heathens are at. In they little communities, you're not going to see it on their little mall strips. You're not going to see it on their main streets. You're going to find abortion clinics in the ghetto. Why? Read that last part. Do it once.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
The reason you're going to find abortion clinics in all the Black neighborhoods is because that is wise for them to do that. That is a war strategy. That is a battle strategy to destroy Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The problem is this, statistically, right? And I wish I had all the numbers, man. I was running behind on time, so I couldn't press the numbers the way I wanted to. But there's 1,000 reports that you can look up yourself where it talks about the European man, the oppressor, white people, right? How their birth rate for the last 20 years has been at 0 or in the negative. They're not reaching the plus side. They're not reaching the plus side. White people just have a problem with, what's the word I'm looking for? Reproducing. They have a problem with, it's hard for them to have kids the way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do. It is hard for them to have kids. You get what I'm saying? We've all seen the shows where they do all that weird stuff. Like, if we all heard the rumors about what they're doing now. They tell you in all the little TV shows, if you ever pay attention to it, like now the oppressor is such a beast and such a devil, man. He's genetically altering the woman, the man seed, and down to the point where white people can go into a clinic and say, I want my baby to look like this, and the doctor can do it. Right. And not only can they do that, but there's like these fertility clinics, they're giving them whatever kind of super drug they got now, to where most white women are now popping up like that one chick, Octomom. The reason Octomom was so famous is because she took that fertility stuff to a new level, right? And remember this, I almost called her the B word. Remember, this devil had the nerves to say that she didn't take any fertilities, that she didn't take anything to help get pregnant. Remember that? Octomom is this devil chick that had 8 goddamn babies. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 babies. They called her Octomom. She had a little reality show and everything, like Honey Boo Boo. You get what I'm saying?
What, like counterfeit plus me?
Yeah, some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That might be them. You get what I'm saying? But I know this was a while ago where they, you know, she was famous for having a bunch of goddamn kids. And she swore up and down she didn't take any fertilities, right? And then it finally came out, she finally admitted, yeah, I took a bunch of fertility drugs and blah, 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 blah to help get pregnant. They was like, well, why did you have to take fertility and why did you lie about it? And she said, well, I had trouble conceiving. You get what I'm saying? Like, they've done studies on all this. The oppressor is more likely to miscarry or not get pregnant at all. Like, it's just something about them. Their DNA is what they call recessive. You get what I'm saying? It's recessive, so it doesn't hold the way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Like I'm telling you, you look at a sister hard enough. If she Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, she might get pregnant. You understand?
Right.
Like we are fertile. You get what I'm saying? In the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, you know how many children have been born with just a tip? That was the thing when you say when you're a teenager trying to get some, just a tip. And next thing you know, you're a father. You know what I'm saying? You're a father. That's how fertile we are, man. And just like right there, if you would take that scripture from the top again, take it from the top.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, and verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
This is what they fear about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You get what I'm saying? We're going to multiply. That's what we do. That's what the Lord said. Be fruitful and multiply. That's what we good at. We good at multiplying. We can do that with no problem. But the oppressor is so afraid that we're going to overtake them. And they should be, because we are. Not because I say so, but because the Lord says so. The Lord said he's going to weather these other nations down to nothing. You get what I'm saying? He's going to do that. But the thing is this. If we would just, for 1 second, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I'm telling you, just 3 years, just 3 punk years, right, with no abortions whatsoever, if every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian woman that got pregnant decided to keep that child, right, and no abortions for 3 years, no matter where you are on the planet, right, we would overtake the planet in a matter of 3 years. We would. We would. I know, man, listen, I know back in the day, when my grandmother had 4 kids. You get what I'm saying? 4 kids. And she would have had more, but 2 of them ended up passing away when she was giving birth. And the truth be told, it wasn't because, something went bad. It's because I believe the doctor did it. The doctor did it. Like, my mother was a twin. And my mother's twin sister ended up dying because the doctor crushed the baby's head. That's what the doctor did. And listen, I know doctors don't do that. But let me tell you something. Why come a doctor every time a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian woman gives birth, why the first thing the goddamn doctor wants to do is talk you into getting your tubes tied, telling you not to have babies, telling you to get on some type of contraceptive, put this thing in your arm so you can't get pregnant, shove this up your uterus so you can't get pregnant, get your tubes tied. We are the only race they do like that. They don't do the Chinese woman like that.
Right.
They don't do the Arab woman like that. They don't do the African woman like that. And speaking of these other nations' women, these heathen nation women, why ain't they out there protesting? Talking about abortions. I want to have abortions. I'll tell you why. Because they understand what it is to have children and reproduce. These other nations are trying to overtake. Listen, they don't ask the oppressor for nothing. They're not asking the white man for permission to have kids or not have kids. They got their own rules and regulations to how to govern their nation. But for some odd reason, black people, we have to always look for the oppressor. Abortions ain't nothing new. We've been getting abortions. We've been having abortions forced on us. Let me rephrase that. I said we've been getting abortions. No, we haven't. We didn't get abortions. But what we did do is start to take on the philosophy of the oppressor and start to get abortions that way. But before then, we didn't do that. We didn't believe in that. Abortions was forced upon us. I can prove it. Let's drop down to 15.
Book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 15.
We didn't get abortions. They was forced upon us as a nation. We just seen how the heathen said, let us deal wisely. They grow in multitude. They're gonna overtake us. They are more and mightier than we. This, what he said, holds true to this day. Trump knows it. That's why Trump was saying, nah, we gotta do something. There ain't one black person in here on the face of this planet that says that there's a white man better than me even this. There's a white man better than me at that. It's not possible. They can't beat us in anything. They're not smarter than us. They're not stronger than us. They're not faster than us. In order for them to compete with us, they have to take steroids and do all type of other wicked stuff to even stand in our shadows, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You know this. Them oppressors couldn't mess with them guys on the battlefield. They had to use biological warfare to kill them. They couldn't mess with them in a straight up fight. You understand? They can't touch none of the 12 tribes of Israel. They can't. The only way they defeat us is to get us to turn away from our God, to turn away from our beliefs, man. Abortions was forced upon us, and now we get them regular like it's the thing to have. So you got a goddamn hot girl summer. Let me tell you something. Hot girl summer was forced upon you, black woman. That is not your spirit to be a goddamn whore. It's not. Let's get some more. Let's get the scriptures. What?
Okay. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Hua. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife,
when you bring a baby into the world,
to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
You should do what?
Kill him.
You should do what?
Kill him.
Listen, abortions ain't nothing new. We have been dealing with abortions our whole goddamn lives, man, since we've been in captivity, under every captivity. This is nothing new. This is a war tactic, a war strategy that we have to be aware of. And Trump stopping abortions, I'm saying Trump, but the Roe versus Wade, you know, turning of legal propaganda, whatever, however you want to break it down, that is nothing more than a war strategy. That is not to take away women's rights. They don't give a damn about women's rights. They don't. There's so much other stuff that they need to be taken care of besides abortions if you care about women's rights. We hear about it all the time in the sports world, how women athletes don't make as much. In the corporate world, how, you know, women of this position that holds the same position as a man don't make as much. They want to be equal in every goddamn thing. But let me tell you something, women. I got a question. How do a man get abortion? He can't. He can't. I can guarantee you, half of these women out here, and we didn't all see the shows, and I'm not saying this in any kind of glorifying way. I just want to make it very clear because I know the spirit of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I know the spirit of the oppressor. Why? Because I've been trained to know the spirits of people in the ISUPK under Convention 300. Right. You understand? This is what we do for a living. Every brother in this school has studied just like Solomon. You understand? We know the minds of men. So I say that to say this. They have a show called Basketball Wives, right? They have a show called Basketball Wives. And let me tell you something about this show. Half of them got kids. Some of them don't, but most of them do. You don't ever see the kids on the show, but they have kids because you hear them arguing about child support, things of that nature. I can guarantee you this. We've all heard the stories. And before I go into this guarantee, we've all heard the stories. I actually have female cousins. This is what they do. They get their little pocket change up, and then they'll go to Atlanta or wherever All-Star Weekend is at. And they go there to have fun and party, but you really know what you're going to do? So I have to spell it out for you. They're going down there to try to get pregnant by an NBA player. You understand? I've had a glimpse into that world before when I played football. You get what I'm saying? When people thought I was going to be a famous football player, they didn't know who I was, but they just knew I was going to be famous and have a lot of money. And let me tell you something. The box came thrown at me like this. That's what they do. You get what I'm saying? And they go in there purposely to get pregnant. And I can tell you one thing. I've seen it. When they get pregnant, the first thing the athletes ask their sisters to do is what? Whether they be sisters or oppressors, they tell them, listen, you got to get an abortion. You got to get rid of that baby. And you know what they say, right? The same ones that's out there screaming that they want abortions, when they get pregnant by somebody with money, what do they tell them then? They tell them, no, we're keeping this. I don't believe in abortions. Right. Now you don't believe in abortions. The whole reason that they screaming they need abortions now, right, is because of the money. We can't afford to take care of babies. We got to focus on our career. We got to focus on that. Listen, let me tell you something, man. It's all bull crap. It's also you can continue to be a whore. It's all, if it has to benefit you some way, somehow, you don't give a damn about them babies. And all these women out here that's having abortions, let me tell you something, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you make sure you stay the hell away from these sisters.
Right.
They don't give a damn about that baby. You know they don't give a damn about you. You know they don't give a damn about the Lord. You can save yourself a lot of heartache and heartbreak if you just stay the hell away from them and get you a righteous sister right here in the ISUPK. This ain't this whole Wade versus Roe thing. This ain't about nothing more than white supremacy and how the white race can stay on top. Like I said, abortions was forced upon us, and now our sisters get them willingly. When our sons and daughters are being gunned down in the streets, our sons are being killed by police, our daughters are being kidnapped and sold on the sex trafficking ring. We need more sons and more daughters. We are at war every goddamn day, and you want to go kill them. You're killing them, and the enemy's killing them. Where does it end? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man and woman. Where does it end? And then, if I could, why not be pro-choice? Why like pro-choice in the concept of this? You tell us, this is what America tells us. They tell us, don't pick your child's identity. Let your child decide if it wants to be a boy or a girl. The baby gets to decide. Don't call the baby a him if it's a boy. Don't call it her if it's a girl. Let them decide what they want to be. The baby can decide what gender it wants to be. But if the baby can decide what gender it wants to be, let the baby decide if it wants to live or die. Right. By that logic, America, the baby should get to choose if it wants to be aborted or not. You same people that are screaming for abortions, I'll tell you what you won't do. You won't kill yourself. You want to live, right? You want to live. So does that baby. That baby deserves the same right that you got. That ain't on the scripture. Let's get to rest.
But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Now that's a whole nother animal right there, a whole nother subject. The reason they're letting the daughters live and killing the sons is because biblically, the bloodline and the nation, the preservation of the nation goes through the son. The daughter you marry out to a heathen, and she takes on the baby that she bears belongs to that heathen. Right. But if it's an Israelite, even if that Israelite marries a heathen, that heathen bears an Israelite child because of his father. Right. You understand? So that's a whole nother animal, a whole nother subject. Something you want to bring up? Let's get.
You want to finish?
Yes, go ahead.
Verse 17. But the midwives feared God.
They did what?
Feared God.
That's what we got to get back into the spirit of, man. I remember a while back, and of course this got swept under the rug. It was a doctor. He was working in the field of doing abortions, and out of nowhere, this doctor decided that he's not going to do it no more. And the reason the doctor decided he wasn't going to do it no more is because he began to fear the Lord. It shouldn't be one black, Hispanic, or Native Indian nurse, doctor, or anything in the medical field related to the medical field anywhere near an abortion clinic working in that mud. Taking the phone calls, filling out the paperwork. You shouldn't be anywhere in that thing. You should fear the Lord. You should want to see your people preserved and last long and live longevity, have long life. You should want that from your people. You understand? Instead of helping killing yourself. All these people, if you're black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, man or woman, and you out here screaming that you for women getting abortions, you out here fighting this fight, talking about it's their choice, their body, their choice. I don't ever want to see you open your mouth about anything else concerning the life of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
The next time a black person, something happens to a black person, and believe me, there's going to be a next time because we're still in this wicked kingdom and we still refuse to follow the Lord. So there will be a next time. There will be another cop killing. There will be another white citizen taking it upon himself to police black people and killing them, killing their sons and daughters. It's going to happen again. But you know what you better do? You better shut your goddamn mouth. Right. Because you don't love black people. You can't love black people if you are here screaming for abortions. You want abortions to happen, it's their right. And they gave up that right when they laid down and opened their goddamn legs. You understand? That right got given up. Her body, her choice. Get the hell out of here with that filth.
Right.
You understand? Get the hell out of here with that filth. Man, I'd have seen so much wickedness in my little time here on this planet. I'd have seen brothers get a sister pregnant and she wants to get an abortion and the brother is begging her to keep the baby. Keep it. Give me the baby. I'll take the baby. Just don't kill the baby. Don't kill my child. And guess what this one gonna do? She gonna get an abortion anyway. She gonna get an abortion anyway. You get what I'm saying? And if we could, before we get the rest of the scriptures, would you bring up that article that you had?
Which one?
The Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, correct.
Let's get into it, man. We think that this is something special, man. This ain't nothing special, man. Let me tell you something. That Presser is and always has been a liar. That chick, the Roe versus Wade, the chick in that case is a goddamn liar. And we about to bring it out. Juan Gab about to bring it out for you. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Come. This is Roe v. Wade. In 1969, at the age of 21, McCorvey became pregnant a third time and returned to Dallas. According to McCorvey, friends advised her that she should assert falsely that she had been raped by a group of black men and that she could thereby obtain a legal abortion under Texas's law, which prohibited most abortion.
I got a question. This is a vague question. I know the answer to it. But why did her friends say that you have, why did the people that raped her have to be black?
Right.
Once more, no matter how you look at it, what level you look at it on, we are always at war. We are always at war. You know what this reminds me of? There's a movie called Rosewood, right? Where the devil was having an affair on her husband with another devil, and he beat her up, cut out, and then she starts screaming she was raped by a black person. This reminds me of the Central Park 5, where that devil was being a whore again, just having orgy sex with you and everybody, and said that she was raped by 5 black people, and it all turns out to be a lie. Emmett Till was murdered because the devil said that he whistled at her. The wolf whistled that. And they kicked in his goddamn door, beat up his family, kidnapped him, and murdered him, a child. You understand? All off the lies of a goddamn oppressor. A white woman. White woman tears are like diamonds in this world. But it's going to become a point in time when we take the kingdom when the Most High Christ return, and we got them 200 million angels, there's going to come a point in time where white woman tears is going to be worthless. Worthless. You know what I'm saying? It won't be worth nothing. In fact, on my plantation, it will be, I'm going to pass a law. Any white woman caught crying will probably be put to death. Her eyes gouged out at the least. You understand? Because white woman tears are responsible for millions of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being murdered.
Right.
Abortions being top of the list. Raped by a pack of niggas. Ain't that what Mel Gibson said? He told his ex-wife, he was arguing, he said, I hope you get raped by a pack of niggas. Like we animals.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? This is the spirit behind these goddamn oppressors, man. Her friends asked her on to say, why say you were raped by a bunch of black people so you could get an abortion? Because she's out here being a whore. This is the original Hot Girl Summer black woman, just so you know.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Let's hit on that. Damn it. Let me get this scripture right here, man. Let me get Deuteronomy 28:56. Deuteronomy 28:56, man. Like the oppressor has done so much wicked stuff to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We out here killing our babies because we think that I don't know what the hell we think. What the hell could we possibly be thinking to think that an abortion is the right thing to do? Like, what could possibly go through your mind? I'm trying to think right now to make you think like What can I possibly do to get an abortion? Like, what can I possibly be going through to make you get an abortion? Let me tell you something, man. And if I don't want kids, I won't have them.
Right.
Like, my kids right now are teenagers. If I wanted a new baby, I would have a new baby. If I don't, I know what to do. And let me tell you something, it don't involve an abortion. That's for sure. It's not going to involve an abortion. It ain't going to involve getting tubes tied. It ain't going to involve a vasectomy. None of that crap. I know how to move if I don't want to have more kids. I know exactly what to do. You know what to do. You got the details. It ain't my fault your pull-out game is weak. Step your game up. Or maybe don't play the game at all.
Right.
You understand? But what you're not about to keep doing is taking the lives of innocent blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. I'm telling you what's going to happen. The Lord is going to put, he's going to put a death angel on you. You're taking all this life, why wouldn't he take yours? And we don't even realize the repercussions behind it. That's where cervical cancer and all that other stuff comes from. You done got the inside of you scraped out 1,000 times, and now your box got a weird smell to it. It's because it's a graveyard. No matter how many dishes you done took, it's a graveyard. Don't act like y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have been in a club and you've been dancing. You're like, what the hell is that smell? It's the graveyard. That's what it is. It's the graveyard. She can never get rid of it, man. The Lord is going to punish our sisters, man. He's going to. Listen, that's what any good father would do. Any good father, when their child is not listening and they keep repeating the same things over and over again, he's going to punish them, man. And listen, we in for it if we don't get our act together. Let's get that scripture.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son.
Toward who?
And toward her son. And toward her daughter.
Listen, she's going to be evil and wicked towards her husband, her son, and her daughter, man. This is what our people are turning into. This is what we are doing now, man. Following after the oppressor. Point blank period. Following after the oppressor is destroying our families, is destroying everything about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man.
Right.
We are going through it, man. We are going through it. Point blank period. Drop down to 59, I believe it is. That's something you want to bring up?
I said, I think it's 57 issue.
57?
Yeah.
Let's see 57.
Verse 57. And toward her young, one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness.
Listen, man, we gonna destroy our kids, man. Like, the reason these people are destroying their kids, the reason these sisters is out here getting these abortions, is so she can continue to live her best life.
Right.
But let me tell you something, sister. Your best life don't begin until you have some goddamn kids.
Right.
That's your best life. That's how your life becomes its best. When you think about somebody other than your goddamn self, man. That's how you live your best life. You want to live your best life? Think about somebody other than yourself. You out here trying to have a hot girl summer listening to these female rappers. But let me tell you something. These female rappers is having babies. These female rappers is having kids. And if they don't want kids, let me tell you what they're not doing. They're not going to get abortions. They're not going to get abortions. I ain't heard about it. Maybe they are, and they just keeping it a real good secret. But I haven't heard about any of these female rappers going to get abortions. They can keep that much a secret. As opposed to you out here protesting, running your goddamn mouth, want to be on Facebook or trying to argue with the priests and prophets of the Lord about killing a goddamn baby. I don't ever want to hear you say anything about anything out here. You have no more rights to talk about anything concerning kids. You have no more. All you same women out here talking about abortions was just commenting on that one brother who took his food, who took his child. He's with a woman that got 4 kids. He has a baby with her, right? So he took his son some McDonald's and didn't get the other kids nothing. You same whores out here talking about abortions got something to say about that. You shouldn't have nothing to say about that.
Right.
It don't matter what he did. Guess what he didn't do? He might not have fed the kids, but he didn't kill the kids like you. You're a goddamn child murderer.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You shouldn't have nothing to say about pedophilia because you're a goddamn child murderer. You want to talk about these pedophiles out here and R. Kelly this and all this and that? But let me tell you what you are. You're just like R. Kelly. Just like R. Kelly destroyed them kids, so did you. You have no more grounds to speak on anything. You are a wicked beast. That's what you are. And you're killing for your right to kill babies. Because you know these riots out here have gotten very violent. They trying to sweep that up under the rug. They uncover plots to kidnap government officials, trying to find the Supreme Court judges, and kill them and kidnap them. Like, I think one of Jay's Revenge. That's the name of the group. See if you can Google that real quick. Jay's Revenge. That's what one of the little terrorist groups is called. I had a little something on that, but I left my other phone. But the name of the group is called Jay's Revenge. Let's see if the article pops up on there. And these devils out here have lost their mind. And it's always some Israel sprinkled in with these devils, man. We always want to take on their philosophy and their spirit to do the same thing that they're doing. When this stuff don't even concern us. We need to be having babies. That's the whole reason this law was passed, because the problem wasn't abortions. That wasn't the problem. The problem was not abortions. Does anybody know what the problem is? Anybody in the chat, if you can tell me what the problem was. The problem wasn't abortions, because abortions was already forced upon blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We just quoted in the scriptures. And blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women have always gotten abortions because that's where the abortion clinics are at. That's where they're at. You don't even have to pay for an abortion when you go in there. You can go in there and say that you need an abortion. And they'd be like, well, an abortion is $400. You'd be like, I got 100. They'd be like, come on and get on the table. You get what I'm saying? It will tell you to get on the table. The problem was never abortions. What do you think the problem is? Remember that Trump interview. What do you think the problem was? Did you find it, James Revenge?
James Revenge?
Yeah. What you got? You got the article about the firebomb and stuff?
Let me read real quick.
Go ahead, do your thing. I was trying to look at the comments, see if anybody wanted to speak on why the problem in abortions. Want to give it a second. You can hear real quick. But the problem with abortions is, like I said, just think about it. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women have always gotten abortions. Nobody said anything. Nobody tried to stop it. This has been in effect for 50 years. For 50 years, it was never a problem. The reason it's a problem now, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you. The reason it's a problem now is because the statistics have changed. It ain't just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian women getting abortions now. Now the white women is having abortions at a higher rate than black people are. That's when it becomes a problem. The white woman is having more abortions than the black woman. That's the problem. I'll say it again. The problem became this, that the white woman was having more abortions than the black woman. That's why became a problem. What's the proof of that? You need more proof? I'll break it down. I'll make it simplistic for you. It's the same scenario, right? It's the same pattern of white supremacy in looking out for white people. What I mean by the same pattern is this: the opioid epidemic, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been hooked on opioids, have been hooked on drugs, have been ODing, have been dying, have been using, have been selling, have been destroyed by opioids. We've been destroyed for the last 50 years, right? 50 years plus. We've been destroyed by it, right? Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community that you can think of has been infested with drugs and guns, right? When did it become a problem? When did the laws change? When did the help come? The help came when white people started dying, when white people started ODing, when white people started suffering, when white people were hooked on the opioids. And not just hooked, but at an alarming rate. What do I mean by that? There were more white people being hooked on opioids and dying and drug addiction and all of that. There were more white people suffering than Black people. When the opioid epidemic hit, it was white people that was suffering. Nobody said, well, just say no to drugs. They didn't go to jail for the next 20, 30 years. They didn't suffer the way that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have been suffering. In fact, when the white people got hooked on opioids, they opened up rehab centers in all the white neighborhoods. They passed new laws saying that if you buy drugs from somebody and you OD on them drugs, whoever sold you them drugs go to prison for murder. You go to prison for murder. It ain't the drug he fought for using the drugs and OD. It's their fault for selling them the drugs that made them OD. They made that a law. But when Black people were ODing on drugs that they bought from white people, from white drug dealers, you get what I'm saying? It was never a problem. It was never a problem. You understand? When the CIA was out there pushing drugs to the Black community, it was never a problem.
Right.
But the second that the white people started to get hooked on drugs and OD, then there's an opioid epidemic.
Right.
The same thing with the abortion. Now that the white women are having more abortions than Black women, now there's an abortion problem. Now they have to change the laws. Now they have to fight against it. Now they have to do what? Preserve and save their race. This is a war tactic, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. And the only cure for it is to come together as a family, as a nation, and start to learn from the priests and prophets. Get your ass into school. You should be calling the nearest ISUPK school near you to start learning from the priests and prophets, to join yourself with the brothers and sisters, because you are the nation undesired. Says join yourself together, nation not desired. That is you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. We've been suffering in this place called Babylon, and nobody has given a damn. But every time the oppressor suffers, laws are passed immediately. And not just the oppressor, but any other goddamn heathen nation. The second anybody suffers but you, laws are passed and made that makes it easier. But you suffer. You got that article? Let's get it.
Who or what is Jane's Revenge? A look at the group invoked in pro-abortion vandalism.
What was they doing? Vandalism.
Pro-abortion vandalism.
Pro-abortion vandalism. Listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The white man is a beast. He is the one nation that will kill for his right to kill. He will kill for his right to kill. In his mind. In his mind, he has the right to kill. And the second you tell him that he can't, he will kill again. And these are white women. It goes to show you that they are right in line with their men. The spirit of the white man is the same spirit of the white woman. The white man likes to kill animals and black people. She likes to kill animals and babies. Let's get some more.
Anarchist groups and individuals using the moniker Jane's Revenge are among those who claim to be planning a night of rage to respond to the Supreme Court's expected overturning of Roe v. Wade. Their grandiose rhetoric portrays churches, crisis pregnancy centers, and pro-life groups as their enemy. And these actors seem to be behind at least 6 vandalism or arson attacks on pro-life groups, crisis pregnancy centers, and churches.
This reminds me of what? What does this remind you of? Whenever they feel like they're threatened and you're taking away their rights, what do?
They always resort to violence and destroying things in order to get their way.
Right. Now, this is what you call domestic terrorism. Like this is a clear example of what happened at the Capitol. This is the same spirit on these devils that was the same spirit on the devils that bum rushed the Capitol. They feel threatened. They feel like they're taking away their right. Right now, they feel like they're taking away their right to kill. And here's the thing: what they don't understand is that the devils in charge of them are trying to preserve their race. Everything that they want to do is about their race. It goes to show you that the sheeple, the oppressor sheeple, don't really get it. They want the freedom to do whatever. It's like if you told them whatever you tell them to do, they're not going to do. You tell them, listen, you can only go left on this street. The oppressor's going to say no, make it a 2-way. This is a 1-way. You can only go down this street west. Not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. You got to make the street so I can go east as well. You can't tell the oppressor what to do. The oppressor is not a home-born slave. He's not. But you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman are. Because we do what we're told to do. We're good slaves. They tell us to have abortions, we have. They tell us not to, it depends.
Right.
But these devils, hey, listen, you can't tell them nothing. Let's get some more.
I'm gonna skip down one.
Yeah, just drop down to the good part.
That was really the all of it summarizing about them. But I just want to skip down to this.
No, do you think?
This paragraph so we can see what they think, war is.
Right.
The communique characterized the attack as a warning and claimed it would not issue any further warnings. Its authors claimed to be the victims of a war and to have been shot, bombed, and forced into childbirth without consent.
Yeah. They said they was forced into childbirth without consent. What the hell are you having sex for? That's the consent.
Right.
Listen, I mean, we were taught this in school, man. I remember when I was in school. I'm revealing my age a little bit here, but when I was in school, every class didn't have its own flat screen TV. So we would all have to go in the gymnasium, right? And they would wheel this TV in on this big ass stand. They would wheel the TV in, and the TV wasn't no bigger than a regular TV that you would have in your room. You know what I'm saying? That's wasn't a flat screen, of course. It was one of them big block TVs, old school. You know what I'm saying? And we would all sit in the gymnasium and get quiet because there was no speaker to hook it up to. We would all be super quiet. And I remember they wheeled that TV in there, and this is when Magic Johnson revealed to the world that he had AIDS. And I'm telling you, that right there, I didn't even know what AIDS was. I just knew that he had it and he was dying before he was supposed to die. And then they showed us a bunch of pictures of people who had AIDS, and they had all type of bumps and cysts on them, and they showed us private parts of people who had it, and they had, all type of other diseases as well, and bumps all on their rod and all on the box. And listen, it scared me straight. You get what I'm saying? I was like, listen, I'm never gonna have sex. That was my thing. I was like, no, I'm not ending up like that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, well, I'll say that to say this. There's two things that can happen when you have sex. One is, let me rephrase that. There's two things that can happen when you have unprotected sex, right? One is STDs, and the other is pregnancy. Those are two things that can happen. You mess around and get both of them.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, so what do they mean forced into pregnancy?
Right.
Were they raped? Were they raped?
It's like forced into giving birth.
Forced into giving birth. Ain't that some stuff? And this is the mindset of the oppressor. You can't force them to give birth if they don't want to.
Right.
Like the scripture said, it was a murderer from the beginning. They just want something to kill, even if it's their own. This is why we need to stay the hell away from these nations. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. Because if we're out the way, right, they're going to kill themselves. They're going to kill each other. That's what they do. That's what they do. They're going to eat their young. But we've been programmed to eat our young, to destroy our families by looking at them and modeling them and wanting to be in their spirit. I know you're like, what do you mean? How am I in the spirit of the oppressor? How am I in the spirit of the white woman? I don't look up to the white woman. Yes, you do, black woman. Yes, the hell you do. Like, prime example, man. I've only seen the pictures. I ain't even watched the what's it called, the awards or whatever. But all over Facebook is this picture of little Kim. She done bleached her skin, right? She done bleached her skin, trying to turn into an oppressor. And not only did she bleach her skin, but what is the main color of hair that black women love to wear? They love to get that blonde hair. They love to get blonde hair. Like, there's a singer called Beyonce, right? Since I've ever seen Beyonce, all she's ever had was blonde hair.
Right.
Now, do you really want me to think that her natural hair color is blonde?
I should tell you what it is.
That's what they want me to think.
Right.
They want me to, listen, if her natural hair color is blonde and my natural hair color is green, how about that? Don't make sense. Don't make sense. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's highly improbable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The possibility of it is through the roof. But when you look at these TV shows, like Basketball Wars and Slut Buckets of Atlanta and all those shows, right? These sisters always rock blonde hair. They always love to take on the spirit and the philosophy of the oppressor and everything that they do. I remember not too long ago, there was protesting. They go sit down at the oppressor's restaurant. Like if the oppressor's not involved or some way, somehow, we just don't feel like we can't do it without them, man. We got to get out of this spirit, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Let the white woman continue to get abortions. But you, right, black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman, you have them goddamn babies. You raise them babies, you have them, you love them, you take care of them, you help build this nation, man.
Right.
You help build the nation of Israel the way that the Lord wants you to, the way that the Lord intended, man.
Right.
Anything else you want to bring out before I wrap this class up?
And so I just wanted to add real quick. You understand, for the sisters out there, you understand, the scriptures say, "Envy thou not thy oppressor, and choose none of his ways."
Right.
You understand? Just like Officer Isaiah, was bringing up something we may view as little, such as dyeing our hair. You understand? Following the God of another nation. Going out and murdering our babies just like our oppressors women does.
Right.
Like, there's a reason it is that the Lord told us not to choose any of their ways, because it is destructive to us as a whole, as a nation. You understand? When you go out and blonde your hair, you start to look at yourself in a negative way and look at your oppressor as if they're superior to you in some form or fashion. and your daughters do the same thing. When sisters go out and commit abortions, like Officer of 5,000 Isaiah Ariel brought out earlier, you're going to get sick from it. Like, you're going to develop cancer in your uterus.
Right.
You're going to develop cancer in your breast because that milk, it's like that milk isn't able to get out, and you know, it's just hardening. Yeah, come. You understand? It's just hardening in your breast. You understand? You're going to die if you choose to follow our oppressor. Like, we are supposed to be a holy people as a nation.
That's right.
The word holy means to be separate. Like, we're not supposed to be like these nations in any kind of way at all. But because the Christian church has failed us time and time again, you understand, because the Christian church does not speak out against abortions, does not tell us that we should separate from our oppressor and all of his disgusting ways and habits, our people are destroyed for it. You understand? We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We're destroyed because we have no idea who we are and what is expected of us from the Lord. Well, that's why the Lord sent the ISUPK on this earth, so that we can get, you know, an understanding of what's expected of us, an understanding of the identity it is that we have.
Right.
You understand? And real quick, just to touch on the STDs you brought up earlier, like, sisters don't realize that when you go into these clinics, you understand, you run a chance of attracting an STD from it as well.
Right.
Especially with you know, the Roe v. Wade getting revoked. Like, these clinics, they aren't going to have the same funding it is that they had before. Like, their staffing isn't going to be the same quality as they were, and they're not going to give a damn about sterilizing different utensils. You understand? You're going to go in for a normal abortion so you can get that dream job that you've been thinking of since you was 12 years old. You understand? And you're going to come out with monkeypox. You understand? You're going to come out with the super gonorrhea it is that Commander John Yohana brought out on Black Watch on, I believe it was Saturday, or was that Monday? You understand? On Monday. You understand? Like, you're going to attract some disgusting and vile disease, and your life is going to be over. And also, I had talked to, talked to a brother in the world, you understand, who had gone to the clinic and whatnot. And, you know, he said that the people in the clinic told him that there was some form of, like, gonorrhea / chlamydia hybrid outbreak up in Purdue, because we all know what happens when you envy your oppressor.
Right.
You understand? We all know the lifestyle it is that he lives. He goes around having all kinds of disgusting sex, having orgies, and just living a disgusting lifestyle.
Right.
And if our people follow that, before we know it, there's going to be some crazy hybrid STD that breaks out in our communities. You understand? That's all.
Yeah, right. Heavy what you brought up is heavy, man. With that being said, man, we're about to go ahead and end the class, man. This is the ISUPK, 1 West 125th Street, Over New York, under Commander John, man. Gather yourselves together, though, nation of desire, man. Let me tell you something, man. We so jammed up in this, we thinking that this is our fight. This ain't our fight. Our sons and daughters is being kidnapped and murdered, and we trying to figure out a way to kill the ones that we're having, man. Babies are a goddamn blessing, man. Babies are a blessing from the Most High. If that baby is a son, it's already been preordained by the Lord that he is a prophet of the Lord. You understand? That's in the scriptures. That is a prophet of the Lord, man. And you have no right to put your hands on him in any way, shape, or form that will harm him. Your job is to raise him and build him up and let him know who he is, man. Get your ass up out of them protesting marches and get your ass at home with your family. Continue to raise your family and build your family and serve the Most High the way that the scriptures want you to, the way that the Lord wants you to, man. You understand, black man? Hispanic man, Native Indian man, Native Indian woman. You understand? Like, we have to. This is for the preservation of our race. Quit being so goddamn selfish, worried about your dream job. Your dream job should be being the best mother that you could possibly be.
Right.
Being the best wife that you could possibly be. That should be your dream job. You understand? That's all, man. With that being said, shalom, Israel. Go ahead and get the security announcements.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'asheret. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. It's whatsoever amount you would like. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or a war scarf. That said, Hadmajum, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakidam, turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakuka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ratazah, Kawor, Ayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wazalachanawa, Kwabawachanawa, Kasalachanawa, Kwabawachanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Bonasai was, Abo, Awashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kayam, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'alu, with the Par, Lawalemu, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Psalm, which means to turn. Sister Yeshavia, a salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat Adom, Yagim Matah. Sorry, turn and face the sisters. Sisters Amadim, a salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Shema Adom Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat. Yagim Matah. Class dismissed.
That's right.